On Two Wheels this week, Wayne discovers the wonderful world of hill climbing. I have some fun on Yamaha's VMAX. And Jeff goes to look at some stunning bodywork.
Oh, damn, do you get it? It's like a joke, innit? Only not funny. Yes, now then, what am I doing, you're asking? Well, I'm hill climbing. I'm actually hill climbing on two legs rather than two wheels. I'd rather be doing it on two wheels or even three wheels.
66. There's a disadvantage now, it's on trial.
Go slow. I'm in my element here now in the sidecar. It's just where I should be in a sidecar. But I'm not good enough for this level. I'm joined here by Brianrmitage, who's actually the rider of this particular bike. But you're involved in the club, aren't you? And you've always got one, haven't you, the flipping nosies. Get out of it, solo riders. They're a breed apart, them boys. So you're involved in the club, organising the things, aren't you?
Basically, it's more my wife that deals with the club side of it. Really, for me to get involved in running the club as well as riding is really a bit of a no-no. I do as much as I can.
Yeah.
Like I come and help set up on a Saturday. Really,
making a brew when
about,
she's doing the paperwork.
well, yeah, that's about
But
it.
your passion is riding them.
Absolutely.
So you openly admit, as I do as a rider and competitor, the truth is we're too busy, aren't we? We want to get on with the job.
Absolutely.
And it's people like your Mrs. Julie that arranges things, and we need them. It's very important that. What club is this though, Brian?
This is the Batley Motorcycle Club.
Yeah. And how many of these hill climbs do you arrange a year?
We do 3 at the moment a year, and I've done for quite a few years now. We used to be a big road race club, but expenses go up, all sorts of other things come into it. People get older, they want to drop out. They drop out of running the thing. Julie's just taken over this year, and really she's put a lot into it already.
Yeah.
What we need is more competitors, more helpers in particular.
Well, we can encourage competitors, because I've noticed the bikes that are being used are all types, all shapes, and road bikes.
That's
regular
right.
road machines.
Absolutely.
And you spoke about the expenses in road racing.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't expensive to do this, is it?
It's not expensive
So
at all.
if there's the lads out there who are got the road bikes and they fancy having a dabble, what criteria, what do they have to do to play?
Anybody, if they've got a bike and it's safe, they can bring it, they can ride it. All they do, if it's a production bike, they tape the lights up, they wire the sump up, that's it. They put a number on.
Yeah.
There's no more to it than that. We've got everything here, from old road bikes to production bikes, proper racing bikes. We've even got Derek Brindley here today.
Oh yes, a famous face from sidecar road racing.
From Grand Prix racing.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
He's racing a solo.
Yeah.
Anybody can ride.
Have a dabble.
Anybody can do it, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
Very cheap.
Well, they are, you see.
Back to 250, but 11, 30, oh, forget it. Next is number 21. Very quickly. Yeah. It is no way for a champion to arrive.
I'm joined here now by Barry Warner, and I'm very impressed, Barry, because you are using a standard R80 BMW road bike, which I know you go just about everywhere on. I mean, even on the clock, it's got 78,000 miles. But you've just gone tear-assing round the blinking circuit here.
Yeah.
Is something wrong with you?
Yeah. I enjoy
Excellent.
tear-assing round the circuit.
Excellent, why not? Yeah. How long have you been having a go at this hill climbing like that?
This is my third year on this bike, and I also use it for track days and things like that.
You do?
know. Yeah.
Do people laugh at you? And I don't mean that disrespectful, but people expect fire blades.
Yeah, well, yeah, people laugh at you until you get out on the track.
And then you go and do your business, because you
Yeah.
put up some good times here today.
Not bad, I
Yeah.
don't know what they are like.
Yeah, no, you have. We've been listening because we said, look at him on that. And then all of a sudden you sweetly nip round the corner and you're neat, tidy, fast. I think you might have scratched your engine casings, you know, your cylinder head
Yeah, well,
covers.
it does go down
Yeah.
occasionally,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
think so.
Getting a bit thin, but there you go.
Whereabouts have you come from?
Bury,
Bury.
yeah.
So you've come, what, 30, 40 mile or something?
About 25.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, it's plenty far enough. You haven't come on a trailer, have you, though?
No,
You've
I've
come on
come
the
on the
bike.
bike.
In fact, I know what you're going to do now. You're going to get your little scissors out. You're going to cut these numbers off the side
Yeah.
here, put your panniers on and go home.
That's it.
Now there's
That's what it's
impressive
all
for you
about.
there. That's what this lark is all about, hill climbing. Come on your bike, have a play and go home again. Look at this classic 200 Yamaha. I can imagine that the classic Yamaha Owners Club would go mad to see what this guy was doing on this thing. Amazing stuff, innit? Eh? You've got your sidecars, you've got your solos, quads, old bikes, new bikes, road legal machines. It's great fun. You start at the bottom of the hill, you go to the top of the hill, as fast as you can possibly do it. There's no one else to battle at. I mean, you're not going to fall off and knock somebody off. Why don't you have a go? I mean, you know, let's be fair. If you contact your local club, pay your entry fee, a few quid, you can do it. I mean, it is cheaper than a speeding ticket.
In the news this week, figures just released show that 64,720 machines have been sold so far this year. And as August comes to an end, the Motorcycle Industry Association says that sales of new S registration bikes is expected to top 18,000, 25% up on the same period last year. And the world's fastest production bike, Honda's Super Blackbird, is about to get a new competitor. Suzuki plan to unveil their new 190-mile-per-hour sports tourer at the Munich show in September. It's expected to cost £10,000 and develop a massive 186 brake horsepower. And coming up after the break, a ride on Yamaha's VMAX, and Jeff checks out some of the new models on next year's calendar.
Now, bikes and babes, they often go together. Well, more often than not, they go together. So this week, we thought we'd give you a little insight into behind the scenes with the shoot of the Crossbow calendar. John, we've got a cracking day for filming today. I mean, this couldn't have been better, could it?
No, it's worked out very well.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so what actually decides you on the location? Is it got to be sort of an old place or just an interesting place?
It's a gut feeling where I feel a motorcycle will really look good and natural. A real setting, not a mock-up.
And do the girls come into this framing at all?
Very much so, yes. And the guys. Don't forget the guys this year.
Of course, this year, yeah. That's the first for you.
That's right.
Right. And so, how many different locations do you use to make up a calendar? I mean, it's one picture for every month, isn't it?
Yeah, it's usually 4.
Uh-huh.
Usually 4, sometimes 5. We've been known to go to 6. It's just, you know, sometimes you can get 3 shots out of somewhere. Sometimes you can only get 1.
Yeah.
But if it's a shot that you want, then you'll go. You're going to go for it. If I believe it's going to make a great month,
and you've got the weather
hook a bike up, we'll go for it.
And you always try and go for something different, don't you? You don't like bikes that have been featured extensively elsewhere.
No, they're always bikes that have usually never been seen, are built by enthusiasts like us. I mean, we used to be in business building this kind of bike. It's rolled on from there. We like bikes that real bikers have built, that is what they believe is their epitome of what the ultimate bike would be.
That's right.
And for some people it'll be a bike that looks one way, and for somebody else it'll be a bike that looks a different way.
And so do you find the bikes in the same way as you find the locations? I mean, do you go out searching or do people come to you?
Yeah. And a lot of people do come to us. We get sent lots of photographs, which we're very flattered by.
So if people watching this have got something really tasty,
they can always send a picture.
In wives, girlfriends or bikes, I suppose.
Bikes, only bikes. Bikes or locations.
Right, but they could send them in and then they could well be featured as well.
That's right. With the ladies, we deal with one of the top London agencies, and that way we get the classy girls, which is what we want. You get a professional who come in, we can do the job, it doesn't take too long, everyone has a nice time, it's very relaxed. As you know, you've been with us before, it's not the first time. You've seen the way we operate.
Yeah. So, how did you get into the calendar business?
Well, we used to build special bikes, as you say, in Wimbledon, and we built a special bike in conjunction with Harris Performance. And we wanted as much publicity as possible because basically every penny we had went into the whole operation. And Samantha Fox was just becoming very well known. Somebody suggested it. It was the last couple of grand I had, but we were in for a penny at that point. So why not for the publicity shots? And from that I thought, here's a market that doesn't have a calendar. So that's how the calendar came about. And courtesy the first year, it was Harris who were very instrumental in helping us get the first one off the ground. And without their help, we would never have got the first one out. We owe them a big debt.
With a model like Jade around, it's easy to forget the bikes. So let's tell you what we've got. First, Mick Hayes Martech. There's far more to this than first meets the eye. Back to the bike, please. It's got flat slide carbs, Techno Magneso wheels, white power forks, 916 style exhaust, a modified Mito rear seat, and a keyless, very trick electronic ignition. Less technically tweaked, back to the bike please, is Alan Mills' Aprilia RS250 lookalike Fireblade. Again with a 916 style exhaust system and heavily modified 916 seat, but all set off with an absolutely beautiful paint job. And last, but certainly not least, is Frank Burrows' 1200 Bandit, which he prepared mainly as a rolling advert for his paint shop business. Jade, we've just seen you on this Fireblade, well not on it, but standing by it. And so how much do you know about these bikes? That's what I want to know.
Not a lot at all, I'm afraid.
I'll have to tell you all about them later. Yeah. That's if you've got a minute or two.
Oh yes, yeah.
Tell me, a shoot like this, have you done bike shoots before at all?
I've done a bike in a studio, but yeah, that's about all I've done really.
Yeah. Where's the bulk of your work come from then? What do you normally do?
I've been doing quite a few calendars and stuff in different countries, and started off doing fashion, so I've done a lot of fashion work and commercial. bit of everything really, a bit of anything.
All right. Very nice. So an interesting job.
Sorry?
An interesting job.
There's been a few. There's been a few I look back on, especially trips and the times a good laugh we've had and that. Like, I look back on them and think they were good. But yeah, mate, it's mostly who you go with, I think.
Is it?
The people and the fun you can have. And,
Oh, well, tell us more about this fun you can have.
well, it involves a lot of drinking half the
Surely
time, yeah, because it's all like paid for. So
yeah.
I do like to have a glass of wine.
Yeah, I can well imagine. But exotic locations then, you're keen on that?
Yeah, I do like nice warm hot weather.
And so with nice weather like this and a nice location and nice people to work with, we could well see you on bikes again.
That's right, definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
I've enjoyed myself, yeah.
We shall look out for you then, Jade.
Okay.
Now, you might be wondering why I'm wearing this white coat tonight. Well, I'll tell you, this is my inventor's coat. I've been working on the problem of rider safety, and this is what I've come up with. This is the Bike Rider's Airbag, or bra. Now, car drivers have had the luxury of airbag for some time now, and I don't see why we shouldn't have the same. It works on the same principle as a car airbag. When in collision with a vehicle, the bra will inflate and cushion your impact. The one I'm modelling now, as you can see, is in the inflated position. I'm wearing it like this purely because I prefer it this way. Now, you might think it's a ridiculous idea, but I've been down the House of Commons and spoke to many ministers about my idea, and they were more than keen. In fact, some of them invited me straight up to their hotel room to discuss it further. Now, I've got a few out on wear tests at the moment, and I'm sure you'll see them being displayed at various biking events around the country now, the TT or other such venues. I look forward to receiving your orders. And don't forget, when in collision with a car, you're safer with a bra.
So you fancy a bit of muscle, do you? Well, don't look at me. No, seriously, I'm talking about bikes. What could you suggest? Maybe a Honda CB1000, perhaps a Yamaha XJR, or even a Kawasaki ZRX or a 1200 Bandit. No, forget them. I'm talking about real muscle. How about a Yamaha 1200 VMAX? Now the VMAX really seems to have that nasty boy image, and once you climb aboard, you really do get the feeling that nothing's going to come even close in the old traffic light Grand Prix. The VMAX was born way back in 1984, but it wasn't officially available in the UK until 1991, when it arrived with its 1198 cc's of stonking liquid-cooled V4 performance. It does in fact come in two versions. There's one like this, which is a restricted one, 95 brake horsepower, and it'll do 133 miles per hour. Doesn't sound that restricted to me. And then in 1996, the UK officially got the full power version, which will produce 121 brake horsepower, and that'll do 156 miles per hour. But don't even think about riding any VMAX flat out, unless you're wearing a very strong neck brace and you've got some way of securing your hands to the bars and your arms to your shoulders. VMAX certainly is different, doesn't look much like any other machine. The dashboard, for example, is kind of split in two. You've got the speedo up here on its own, mounted on the bars, and down here the rev counter, temperature gauge and warning lamps are on a kind of little console at the front of this tank. Tank, I said, not really a tank, it's a dummy tank. There is a storage box under there, but it's not very big. If you want to put petrol in your VMAX, you have to do this. A couple of catches there, just behind the back, twin shocks. Flick them, and up it pops. Petrol filler cap there, and the tank is actually underneath the seat, which helps to keep the weight down, and this is quite a heavy beast. The tank actually only holds 15 litres of fuel, which, if you ride it fairly hard, will take you just a touch over 100 miles before you have to switch to reserve. Not very far, I know, but believe me, 100 miles hard riding on one of these, and you'll be well glad of the rest. It really is built to go very fast in straight lines. It's absolutely crap at going round corners, to be quite honest with you. But one thing it does do very, very well is stop, thank goodness. Because at the front we've got twin 282mm discs being squeezed by twin 4-piston calipers, and at the back a 290mm disc with a single twin piston caliper, and they bring everything to a very, very rapid halt. It really is incredible in a straight line. Not so clever going around the corners. Perhaps the weight's got something to do with that. It's a heavy beast, 262 kilos, which is 576 pounds in old money. Certainly takes a bit of shifting around. Anyway, by the time I get to the twisty bits, I'll be that far in front, I can slow down and let you all catch up. The full power version gets most of its performance from the V-Boost system, which very cleverly controls the fuel supply to the front and rear cylinders, and it adds extra fuel to the one that's firing. And believe me, when that starts to happen, you will know about it. The VMAX is a great bike. It makes you smile when you ride it, something good in that. And one thing that has surprised me is the price. I always thought VMAXs a kind of luxury item, not so really. The price for this particular bike, which is a 1998 import version, and it's restricted, but don't let that put you off, still a lot of fun. This on the road is less than £6,000. And if you do want to splash out and buy a UK model, unrestricted, full power version, that'll cost you about £9,300 on the road. So there's the VMAX. All I need now is a new rear tyre. On Two Wheels next week, Jeff shows off the very exclusive 916 Carl Fogarty replica. Wayne gets involved in some helmet surgery, and I spend the day with top stunt rider Dave Coates. Also, the chance for you to win tickets for this year's Sheffield Supercross.